Computer architecture is basically just the study of architecture of a computer. It's like how the hardware is designed inside a computer. So that study is what you call the computer architecture. Any computer architecture has like these four components: the processor, the memory, the peripherals, and other components which are helping them. So the first component is our processor. Processor is like the thinking brain of the computer. Whatever it thinks, it happens inside the processor. So the processor has also the three parts like the control unit, ALU, which is arithmetic and the logic units, and the general register. So the control unit is where uh, that helps in all the controlling parts, like when you increase the volumes or decrease the volume. So all those instructions comes out from the like these control units. Like it controls like where to go, where the instructions will come from, where the instruction will go, etc., etc. Now we have our arithmetic and logic unit. So it deals with all the basic processing, like it deals with all the addition, subtraction, multiplications, and whenever we write code, it handles all the data and process them in our desired form, and then we get the output. And then we have the general register. General registers is where uh, all our data is actually stored, like when we call the 32-bit or 64-bit. So we are talking about these registers, that how many bits are there in the registers. Then we have memory. Now we come to memory. So memory is what stores the data. Like here we are discussing about RAM, basically you can say. So RAM is where we store the data and the address, and of course in memory we have an address. So whenever like the CU or an ALU needs to do some task, so they contact to some address or perform operation and then put back all the data back to the memory. So this is present in the RAM. Now the third one is the peripherals. Peripherals are like the what we connects to the outside world, like our hard disk. Like hard disk is not the core component of a computer. Like it's an external part. Similarly, the pen drives and all the keyboards, mouse, all these things are connected via these peripherals. Like and these peripherals get inputs from them, and uh, when we get the interruptions from them, so it goes to the processor, and then processors perform accordingly that. And then we have the other components like uh, these are like the buses and the clocks. Buses are like which helps the transfer of data between all these other components. Then we have the clock is what providing time and everything to processor, that helps in its processing. And we have the interrupter also, like in between, let's say someone insert a pen drive, so it needs an interruption. The processor is not actively looking every time like what is it has someone inserted a pen drive in the peripheral. No, it's the work of the interrupter. So interrupter helps like there is some other priority task has entered, so let's discuss that. So that's the interrupters. So these components helps the first three, and so is also a part of the computer architecture. Now the computer architecture has like three subdivisions. One is the instruction set architecture. So this is like a chunk of assembly codes, you can say, like or the machine codes, you can also say. So so this helps instruction set architecture. It helps in read those instructions, and then to act accordingly, like it reads all the assembly codes and then have to perform line by line according to that. Like, and so now we have the microarchitecture. So microarchitecture is what describes about the handling and implementing the instruction. Like the architecture, this is where, like let's say we have the ALU. So how the addition will get performed or how the multiplication will get performed. So all these things are defined inside the microarchitecture. Like when we get some instruction to like multiply a b, so how that will get performed. So these are all the parts of the microarchitecture that this is going to perform that. And then we have system designs also, like the other components. So these are the terms that are helping the processors uh, to perform those operations, like we have registers and all. So those designs which helps, and we study them also in the computer architecture only because they are the one that are helping in the processors. So this is all about the computer architectures.